Okay, guys, like I promised before, here's a review of Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange, for me, was a good movie, and I personally enjoyed this bad guy. I'm gonna start with the bad guy, by the way. I personally enjoyed Doctor Strange's bad guy more than I enjoyed any bad guy for the longest since. Here's my ratings on bad guys: Loki, Ultron, and then there's that guy in Doctor Strange, Chasm. There we go, Chasm. Chasm was played well by Matt Mikkelsen, and I'm very proud of Matt for being in a Marvel's movie. I'm proud of him for being more into movies that I have seen lately. He makes a good bad guy, and I really appreciate it. Also, I can't wait for him to be back on Hannibal. Can any of you wait for Matt to be back on Hannibal? God, I can't wait for that show to come back. So anyway, Matt, my favorite part in this movie is not when he's beating the daylights out of Doctor Strange. It's when he got captured for a moment by Doctor Strange, and they're just having this conversation, and he basically says, "Our enemy is not each other. Our enemy is time. Thanks to time, we eventually fade away and go." And Dormammu offers us eternal life. He sounds like a true zealot. Also, but the favorite part of that scene for me is when Doctor Strange was talking and Matt is laughing, and Doctor Strange is like, "Why are you laughing?" And he's like, "Because you lost your sling." And Doctor Strange gets stabbed in the chest by one of his other minions, and it was like, whoa. And my favorite, and another part of this movie that I love was the very beginning, is when Chasm cuts off the librarian's head, and I'm like, oh, he cuts off people's body parts and put them in pots in this too. Okay, let's do this. So anyway, I'm loving the bad guy so far. Also, another bad guy in this movie is somebody that I did not think will become bad. I thought he'll be here forever, and it wasn't until I was speaking to somebody at the end of the movie that they were like, "No, that's somebody. What's his name? Model something. He's evil. He was supposed to be evil throughout this whole thing, but I guess." So basically, and I love how they took him. They started off the black guy character, who was supposed to be is Doctor Strange's psychic. He started off as a straight good guy, straight shooter, follow the rules, straight up, 24/7, follow the rules, and nothing will go bad. If we don't break the rules, then nothing bad will happen to us. We stay on the right and righteous path, and we should never waver or break the rules whatsoever under no circumstances. And the fact is, he gets upset because the one person he respects, the one person he follows religiously, was the lady, their master. And when he found out that she too had broke the rules and went to Dormammu's realm and took power from that, when he saw that sign on her forehead, he felt betrayed. Like betrayed. Like all this time, everybody was saying that all the bad guys that we've been fighting against through like how many years, how long, and it turns out you too have breaking our most sacred rule. And you could see the shame on her face, like she felt bad for breaking the rules, but she felt like honestly that she had no choice, that she was making the best decision. And Doctor Strange eventually comes to that conclusion himself. We don't know what exactly drove her to do this. She did the best she could. And it was kind of I could see the parallels changing where where the black guy was like, "No, she's completely right," and Doctor Strange's like, "No, she's wrong." And then that slowly begins to change where he's like, "She's completely wrong," and he's like, cut her some slack, man. She did what she had to do. She did the best that she can." That's what Doctor Strange is doing. And that's what basically the parallels changed. And I love how they took him from a place of righteousness and brought him he's slowly going to the dark side. I think this also speaks to something else. It's like in this fight against evil and any fight against whatever cause you may go behind, whether it's righteous or whatever, it's real easy to slowly go to the bad side. And you need a line in the sand where where you cannot cross, or something like that. Because does the ends really justify the means? And this man who was inside of her, the black guy, he's basically struggling with that right now, and he doesn't care that the world was saved. I mean, he's happy that it's saved, but at the same time, what makes us any better than the people we were fighting against if we break the same rules that we swore to never break in order to keep the world balanced? So we can see why he's going down to this dark path, and we can certainly empathize with it. He's not just somebody who just came out of nowhere saying, I want power and whatnot. No, he feels like the wizarding system, the magical system is broken. And another thing why I love the wizards in Doctor Strange more than I love in Harry Potter and anything else, it's not discriminative. It's not saying you have to be born with wizarding powers or anything like that. You can go to this place and become a wizard with no magical abilities whatsoever. All you need is training and to actually look things up and look things over in training. That's what makes the Marvel Cinematic Universe so great. You can literally lose everything and become a wizard and have no magical parents or background and start your own family lineages of wizardry. That's kind of like what I like about the Marvel Cinematic Universe. If Harry Potter was like that, then there will be no muggles. Well, there will be some muggles, but I guess there'll be like a selective system, like maybe she'll be a good wizard, maybe she'll be a good wizard. Who knows? So anyway, that's what I liked about the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So another part in this movie is another parallel, how we see Doctor Strange slowly comes off his high horse. He could have helped people, but decided to not help them because he felt like they weren't important enough for him, or will give him enough fame, or he felt like it's lost cause. And we see him slowly get off of this high horse where every person mattered, not just yourself, and he had to get out of his own way to prove that. And now I'm going back to the black guy again right quick, because at the very, very end, it's a post-credit end scene. If you haven't seen it, too bad. Spoiler alert. He goes to a guy that they healed and takes the magic out of him and makes him a cripple again. And the man is like, why? And the black guy's like, I finally see what's wrong with the world. There are too many wizards. And I'm like, does that really make him a wizard? He's not a wizard. He's a guy who came to the mountain, who got healed, and then left and lived his own life. He's not doing any wizarding magicking work or nothing like that. He's just minding his own business in his little tiny shop. Because he even acknowledged that the man's not bothering anybody. He's like, he walked into the shop and he asked them, look what has become of you. What would people say? And the man's like, can I help you? So basically he's going down this darker path, and I'm loving how they're taking him. Although I feel sorry for my cripple friend, because I liked him. He was humble. He's like in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, he's basically the honest average Joe. He's like, okay, I understand this is magic and stuff like that, but I might not be strong enough to live in this world, and I have to go now. Thank you for your help and my miracle. I gotta bounce. I'm gonna bounce now. And that's why I liked him, because they don't demoralize him, they don't demean him or say that he's a bad person because of it. It's just saying that it's okay to be normal. So moving on from that, Doctor Strange was a pretty solid movie. It has great action sequence. I didn't feel like it was a ripoff from another movie that I saw. And they actually touch on the multiverse. They made me understand the multiverse, because basically I always hated multiverse in any giant genre. I never liked multiverses and stuff like that. I always hated it, but I like how they did it though. I like how they brought it in slowly and made me even understand it better. And I love how they managed to connect everything. So I definitely respect Doctor Strange. This was a very good movie, and I love the very ending of this. By the way, I want to touch on one more thing before I go. At the end of this movie, spoiler alerts, post credit, haven't seen it, too bad. Doctor Strange is sitting down talking with Thor, and he's like, okay, so basically you're looking for your father with Loki. And Thor's like, yeah, we had some family issues. Yeah. We're just looking for our dad. And Doctor Strange's like, so if I help you find your dad, you take Loki and Odin and all you Asgardians, just go back to wherever you were and don't come back? Cool, let me help you find your dad. Let's do this. And this is why I kind of respect Doctor Strange, because he's like, this is my responsibility now. We have no barriers protecting us from other dimensions and whatnot. And I'm not going to let nothing else magical touch this planet or come to my planet whatsoever. And Thor's well, he never said that, but I could basically see where this is going now. I feel like Doctor Strange is now going to put a ban on anything magical that is not native to my planet. And that's what I feel like Doctor Strange is going to do now. Because you can see he just wants to get Thor, Loki, and all the Asgardians out of here. He doesn't want anything else happening to his planet. He feels like this is his planet now, and this is his protection now. This planet Earth is under his protection now. Nothing else is going to touch it at all. And I feel like we might have a problem with that, because the Avengers might have a problem with Doctor Strange in the future, because I feel like that's going to be Doctor Strange's talking point. Doctor Strange is probably going to be like that. Look, guys, there's a lot of things in this universe you don't understand, and you don't need to. And Thor and magical creatures from outside our realm does not need to be here. I understand you like Thor and all that good jazz. He helped us. That's great. But he can't just be coming up out of here with a bunch of destructive magical things, whatever. And I feel like that's going to be Doctor Strange's talking point in the movie when he meets up with the Avengers. And the Avengers are like, you don't tell us what to do, okay? He's been here before you. He's protected Earth, and he is our friend, and we trust him. He's been here for the longest. We're not just going to throw him out of the planet with all the other Asgardians, okay? And we can protect ourselves. We don't need you. I feel like that might be something of a talking point for the Avengers. So I'm looking forward to Doctor Strange joining up with the Avengers and meeting the Avengers. He's already met Thor, and he's already trying to get rid of Thor. So whatever happened, guys, I cannot wait for it. And this is going to be great. It's a great time to be alive. It's a great time for Marvel movies and stuff like that. I cannot wait. Anyway, let me know what you guys think of the Marvel movies down below, and about Doctor Strange down below. Comment and let me know. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.